Yo, what's up, my guys? Hope y'all having a great day. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to cover the roof foundation bunker, and I think that's a name for it. I'm not quite sure. There might be a better name for it. If you know it, let me know down in the comments, but this is a pretty beginner-friendly kind of bunker, and a lot of people do it out of this 1x2 kind of setup right here, and then they'll expand into the 2x2. And I don't actually think this is the best footprint for this bunker. At the end of the video, I'll show you one I like a lot better. I think it's a lot stronger. It might cost a little bit more to build it, but honestly, in the long run, I think it's a much better footprint. That being said, though, I'm going to show you how to actually do it, like the principle of it. You guys can go on a building server and mess around with it and figure out a footprint for yourself that you like. That being said, we're going to go ahead and start off with two foundations. And what you want to do is you want to put a high foundation and a low foundation down on one of the squares. The one coming out from this door is going to be the one we use. And the high foundation you want to be facing wherever the doorway is going to be, and you want to put a low foundation down. I'd recommend metaling these as soon as possible. And this one I'm just going to metal because this is the one where the door is going to be. And I'd recommend getting a G-door down here as quick as possible because the G-door is a lot easier to get, maneuver around in the side of the bunker. You can do it with the double door, but it's kind of a pain. You have to like crouch down and look down and whatnot. That being said, you want to have the high foundation on the opposite side of where the door is going to be. You'll see why here in a second. And the reason why you want a high foundation is because you can use this to block this wall. Like, it kind of acts like a wall when you put honeycomb up here without it actually taking up the socket. Say like you have a wall here. You're not going to be able to put a roof down because it blocks that socket. See, it doesn't register because the socket's taken up, but this socket isn't taken up. So we can use the high foundation to kind of block the way here. And I'd recommend honeycombing this as soon as possible. And the reason why is yeah, obviously it makes it the same height as the rest of the base, but it also stops people from being able to soft side this. And I'd high qual this as soon as possible because this is the weak spot of the whole bunker right here. So now everything's good to go. And the other thing is this is actually a weak spot too. Somebody can break this and then break this wood right here, and it's twig right now. You want to keep this wood at all times because the twig pokes through and you can actually break it from the outside. So you want to keep this wood at all times. And basically somebody can break this and break the twig as well, or the wood here. So it doesn't actually allow them access through here like it would on this side. But it also breaks the bunker for a lot cheaper. So I'd recommend making that sheet metal and then honeycombing it in. And the honeycomb can be stone. You don't have to get crazy with the honeycomb. But you do want to make this wall sheet metal, at least, so somebody can't soft side in here and get around the bunker. Okay, so at this point, you want to put a jump up here. So you have something to work out of here. I'm not going to get crazy. You can put a shelf here. I'd actually recommend putting the shelf in, but I'm just not going to. I'm just going to put it, I can't even reach that, so I'm going to leave it to it for now. So basically, this is what you're working out of, and you'd probably put a door here. Well, you definitely put a door here. If you don't have armored doors and stuff, it's not a big deal. You can use, sheet doors and whatnot. So this would be what you're working with during the day while you're online. You use a staircase to get in and out. And I would leave this twig. It just makes it a lot easier. Plus, you can put like a shotgun trap or flame turret or something here, so if somebody tries to go deep on you, it'll actually break the twig and trap them in your base. So that's kind of like a good thing. So even if you die, it won't be that big of a deal unless they have a friend to boost them out. So you'd work out of this, and of course, eventually you want to honeycomb everything. But this is just like the starter kind of beginning setup right here. And when you want to log off, what you do is you break this right here. That's why you leave a twig, so it's easier to break. Pull out a roof, slap it down and upgrade it. And I wouldn't upgrade this past whatever this wall is here, because people just raid into here instead. So you might as well just, like, if this is sheet metal, don't worry about making this high qual. It's just a waste. Honestly, it'd be better to make this high qual and have this sheet, because at least you still have the doors in the way and whatnot. So this is what you'd log off to, and when you log back on, you just want to break this foundation here. And it's really easy to break a wood foundation. You just use a sword or like a couple machetes. It's pretty cheap. So you break that. It opens up the bunker. Place down another foundation. I'll show you. I'm not going to upgrade this now. I'm going to show you what it looks like from the outside. But when you put it down, I'd recommend go ahead and upgrading that wood just off rip. And I'll show you why. Because it sticks out here. Not only does it stick out, if a person knows where to aim, they can break it from the outside. So it kind of sucks, and it also break your bunker if your bunker's sealed. So I definitely recommend having this wood at all times. Even if your bunker's not sealed, you're just going around doing your stuff for the day, I definitely have this upgraded, the wood. Okay, so some of the issues with this bunker is, here, I'll show you from the outside. Now, you can seal this bunker from the inside and the outside, which is pretty handy. But one of the things about this bunker that sucks is this is a weak spot right here. So say somebody raids into here. They might, you might think, oh, well, you got this blocking it. Well, actually, they could just break this wood, and they can get in for the cost of the wood and not really the cost of the bunker itself. And if you have it in water, they really can't molly it or use a flamethrower, but they can still, use like C4, explosive ammo and whatnot. So it is pretty weak if you think about it. So honestly, this bunker is probably really just good for and I mean, you can see it's a bunker from the outside. So this bunker is really just good for early game to protect door path when you don't have a bunch of doors. Later down the road, when you have a bunch of doors added to this base and they're armored doors and whatnot, it might not be that big of a deal. It might not be that much of protection, but it still works. Honestly, it is good for early game. And I mean, most people, if you upgrade all this to high qual, and then you have this sheet metal, most people are not, and even this is just sheet metal, most people are not going to waste 4C4 or 8C4 or anything to raid this little 2x2, especially early early wipe. So it is good, it's effective, but it's not my favorite footprint for this. My favorite footprint for this bunker design right here would be I don't know what to call it. It's like a triangle with the 3 squares coming off of it. It's not quite an eggshell, it's similar to the eggshell. And then you'd want to put a high foundation here. And this would all the triangles here would be honeycomb, right? And then after you honeycomb this in, this would be the bunker right here. This would be honeycomb. This would be a loot room or TC room. I want to trap myself in here, but see, this would be another loot room right here. So both of these squares right here, you'd use these for loot rooms and TC room, and this is where the bunker would be. Here, I'll just high qual this for illustration's sakes. Put the bunker in here, and the good thing about this footprint is you can actually honeycomb this. And when you want to honeycomb the bunker, I would use low foundations, not high foundations. I'm not really a big fan of high foundations because it's easier to raid those than a low foundation. When you do this, you completely protect the bunker seal from the outside, so people will still be able to see that you have a bunker. You can obviously see the roof peeking through, but at the same time, it's a lot more protection. People can't just 8C4 and then skip all your doors. This way, somebody would have to actually use enough to break the wall here and then the foundation. So if it's sheet metal high qual, it's actually pretty expensive. So honestly, I think this is probably the superior setup. Like I said, it costs a little bit more, but in the long term, it's a better design for that bunker. But let me know down in the comments what you guys think. If you have any questions, also hit me up down there. If you want to stay up to date with Rust content, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll catch you all later. Deuces.